Good, y'all. Y'all know it's the MVP. And you know what it's going to be. It's talk ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? You already know the vibes. We got them interviews you want to see. So appreciate you rocking with me. Come on now. We got one on the line today. Hold on, let me get my mans in here. I just send the invite, y'all. We locking in. We locking in. How y'all doing this Good Friday? Come on now. Uh-oh. Yeah.
Hey, how's
What's
it going?
going on?
Hey, I'm sitting outside my friend's apartment so she can keep sleeping.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm here in Atlanta right now, about to get on the road to Athens after our conversation. But thank
Oh.
you for inviting me to talk with you.
Come on now, anytime. Appreciate you again coming through, taking time. We know you're on tour right now. Appreciate you making time for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to
hmm
be here.
Oh yeah, again, if y'all don't know, I want to make sure I say your name right. Is it Wilbr?
Yeah, just like the name Wilbur.
Okay.
My full name's Will Brooks, so
hmm
the Wilbur is like a condensed version of that. My wrestling coach used to call me Wilbur in high school.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So again, y'all, if y'all don't know, this is an artist named Wilbur. A good way to explain him: a manifestation of Americana artivism. Can you explain to us what that is? I saw that. I said Americana artivism. That's different.
Yeah, I appreciate you asking.
Yeah.
So Americana is how I've been describing the style of music that I play, because it's
Mm.
rooted in folk. At least this is how I think of Americana. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure if this is like probably not how everyone defines it, but
Mm-hmm.
I think of it as kind of rooted in folk with influences, folk or acoustic music, but
Mm-hmm.
with influences from different genres like rock and blues. Um, I love the Grateful Dead, and they're the ones who introduced me to jazz that I like, because I had grown up hearing jazz and just being like, well, I don't get it. But the Dead helped me kind of
Mm-hmm.
appreciate more of that.
Oh
And
wow.
the artivism is like a combination of art and activism, because
Mm-hmm.
I want to use my music to make better worlds. That's
Mm.
my tag is Americana Artivism, songs for better worlds,
Mm-hmm.
because I want my music to improve our worlds, like
Mm.
our individual worlds, the way we see things through our own perspective, and
Mm-hmm.
also the collective one that we share.
Wow. Man, that was so powerful. Like this, oh my! Hey, see, this would attract me to Mr. Wilbur right here. Oh, this is one of his positive messages. Just like, hold on, this sounded so worldly right now. My spirit needed to hear that. That was a great breakdown right there.
Thank you.
Hey, a little bit sharing songs for a better world. And can you talk a little bit of what got you into music? What got you started?
I grew up listening to music and loving music. I grew up on the Beatles and They Might Be Giants, like Journey, Bob Seger, um, lots of like really great classic rock and like 90s alt rock. Um, and I started playing music as a kid. I started playing the guitar when I was like 9, and I I switched over to playing electric bass in the middle school jazz band at my school. And when I switched over to bass, I kind of stopped playing guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and then I kind of stopped playing anything for several years.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was struggling socially, and I think just finding myself, and I also really just wanted to smoke weed. And and my parents were very strongly against that. So
Mm-hmm.
I spent a lot of my free time plotting and scheming. How can I go get high without my parents finding out? So that didn't leave a lot of room for playing music.
That's right.
But when lockdown started, I had started getting into it. I was just getting out of a wilderness therapy program, and I was living in Colorado in a transitional living place it was about like half of us had come from a wilderness therapy program, and the other half had come from some more straight up like rehab. And playing guitar and working out were what kept me sane out there. And I just fell back in love with playing guitar.
The wilderness therapy, like that's different right there. How, like, is that a alternative? Like you said, the normal rehabilitation, you can do wilderness therapy.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm in a
Sounds
very
cool.
privileged position with, like, I'm super lucky for all the support that I've gotten from my parents. They're both doctors and able to finance my the considerable mental health resources that I've received.
Good way to put that.
I try to choose my words carefully.
Oh yeah, as you stated, because words are like spells. You got to be mindful of what you say.
Yep, I got a song about that. I just made it. Yeah, I just played that last night at East Atlanta Village pub, and I shared it. There's a video on YouTube, but yeah, it's called Sergio. But yeah, words are spells.
Yeah,
cast wisely. I do my best to cast wisely, at least.
for sure. I like that. Cast wisely. I like that one. Cast wisely.
Yeah, I kind of forgot where I left off about the wilderness therapy. Oh yeah, it basically was I think an important for me to detox from society and detox from a lot of the pressures that society can put on us to be a certain way, or just the pressures that our friend groups can put on us to be a certain way, and to just stay stuck in the same patterns of thinking and behaving certain ways, engaging in certain behaviors. Not that wilderness therapy fixed all my problems. I came out, I was sober for a year, and I got out, like, from when I went in, starting then, I was sober for a year. I got out and I stayed sober, really just because I wanted to prove to my parents, and I think somewhat to myself, that I could do that.
Yeah.
So once I had proved, okay, I can be sober, I went back to Virginia Tech to finish studying. I had changed my degree from business to human nutrition, foods, and exercise. Because I was obsessed with, like, working out and nutrition and tracking calories, and it was, I think, unhealthy the way I was going about it.
I mean, hey, you're doing what your degree tells you to do. Graduate in 2024.
Yeah. No, you did your research. Was that a guess?
A little something, come on now.
I respect it. Yeah, so when I got back to Virginia Tech, because I had left, I was there for my freshman semester, first semester, and just drinking every day, just really depressed. And then I didn't come back in the spring because I went to wilderness therapy.
Yep.
And then I got back and basically just fell back into, like, partying, and I love some of the friends that I made, but I think it wasn't the healthiest environment for me to be in. And towards the end of my time there, I had started withdrawing from those circles and entering into new circles more with more open-minded people. And I think that my conscious choice to sort of leave some old behaviors in the past really served me well. And it took me, like, distancing myself from certain people to to let the changes settle in to my way of being.
That is a perfect way to put it. Because sometimes you do got to get away from certain environments to actually elevate yourself and actually see your value. Because you could have good friends, they might not be toxic, but your circle could be limited. It might keep you right where you at. Because like you said, you went to the wilderness therapy, but when you came back into the same environment, same things still happen. Still get caught up in the same things.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. It's limiting, and yeah, because it's not always that it's toxic. I forget. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
That I feel like I was looking for that word the other day, and it was eluding me. But I just thought about this. Is this audio all right on your end? Because I'm in my car right now, and I've got your voice on the speaker. I just want to make sure it's not doing any like weird echo stuff for you, because I do have headphones.
Oh no, you're all good. You're all good.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. And again, anybody coming in, we're talking about again. This is Mr. Wilbr, an artist, and we're talking about his start, of what got him started. He was going into a little bit of his college days, and again, we're talking about wilderness therapy. We're just catching up. Just make sure everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, I appreciate.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I appreciate your interviewing skills. This is my first interview, so I don't have.
Really?
I mean, I don't have much to go on, but you seem very confident and experienced.
Oh yeah, I do interviews all the time.
Personable. Yeah,
I do them all the time, in person, over you name it. We're very well versed here at Talk Ain't Cheap.
Yeah, this is great. I'm grateful to be here talking to you.
Oh yeah.
Have you had many interviews this week?
No, this is my first interview this week. Like this is our first time going live with Talk Ain't Cheap. If nobody ever, this is our first time going live.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we want to try some new things. So I'm like, why not? Let's go live. Let's talk to the people.
Yeah. No, I think that feels very on brand for me with authenticity, because I think a big part of what's gotten me to where I am has been my willingness to show up imperfectly. Because like I've got an EP coming out on Monday, right? But it's a live EP, because for me, going into the studio and trying to create some like polished product that sounds great. I grew up on listening to great music, at the highest level of like production, and like these people, there was thousands of dollars going into making this. So like for me, my baseline, it's not attainable for me to do self-producing, recording things in my room. I can make something that sounds listenable, and that's my goal, is to make something that sounds listenable. But I don't necessarily, just with my current skill level producing, it's not feasible for me to think I'm going to create some like professional sounding product. So I've kind of let go of that idea, because I did want to do that at first. I think it seems like that's what most of us are going for.
Yeah.
Like even from the or at least that's what I was going for from the beginning. And I think that was a big part of what held me back early on, was my wanting it to sound perfect when it's not gonna, like, that's not how it works.
Yeah. That's a good way to put that, because I feel like I hear a lot of artists talk about that. Like, you know how they have a lot of music but never put it out because they're perfectionists. It never seems like it's ready to put out, but you got to put the music out. We get some feedback on it. Got to put it out there. And like how you said, you got to show up imperfectly. You still show up. That's most important.
Yeah, that's what it's all about for me.
Yeah.
Is showing up, come as you are, is what that makes me think of. Like,
yes.
This is me. This is me. Take it or leave it. And my hope is that the people who my message really resonates with, those are the people who are tuning in. And, if the message connects, I don't think the superficial stuff, like the way it sounds, I don't think is as important. I think it's important to an extent, but I don't think it's as important as I used to think it was, and I think as important as a lot of artists seem to think it is. Because to me, it's the message that's really important. The sound is just a vessel for the delivery.
Ooh, that was so elegant. The sound is just a vessel for the delivery. Well, I gotta write it down. Hey, I like that one.
Thanks. Yeah, it's just yeah, I think once I realized that, and once I accepted that understanding, that perspective, it became easier for me to start putting things out that maybe like maybe I'm judging this because I messed up some guitar part, but it's like, that's just my ego. That's just me wanting to look cool and wanting to look good and impressive. But that's not where the healing is. That's all about me, and it's not about me. It's about sharing healing messages.
Facts. It's facts. Because like you said, being a human being, we're not always gonna look cool doing something that we don't know what you're gonna have to look uncool at first before you get there. You can't skip it.
Yeah, and if you know me in person, like I've learned to embrace my awkwardness, because it seems to just be a part of me, and I'm at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with it. Sometimes I'm pretty awkward, and I don't need to feel bad about it.
Right. Like I say, you gotta embrace yourself, embrace your qualities. Any weaknesses you feel like you have, turn them into strengths. You know, man. Say, I'm awkward, but I'm gonna be confidently awkward.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the key, I think. For,
yeah. That's what's missing in
radical.
artists these days. Like, you know, they're not really being authentic, being themselves, and we can kind of tell. Us as a consumer.
Yeah, people are smart. People know when they're being sold to. Like, I've been hearing that, and I've recently been learning to self-promote and like market, and I felt weird about, like, I don't like to tell people, go do this, go stream this, comment this. I don't like telling people what to do, because I don't like being told what to do. And when I see a post that says do this, sometimes I do. If it's my friend, I'm just like, okay, yeah, like, I'll support my friend. But most of the time, and at least before I was in the mindset of like, well, I'm an artist and artists need to support other artists. So I basically do the things anytime I see someone ask for it. But I know that there are going to be people out there who see this, like, comment your favorite part. There's going to be someone who's like, don't tell me what to do, fuck you, and just keep scrolling.
Always.
So I like to give people an option. Like, it's like, hey, if you want to check this out, you can go to the link in my bio and find it. But it's always their choice.
Yeah, it don't sound mandatory. That's how you want engagement, not directions. Like, look, I want to engage with y'all. Yeah. Dang, I say like this. Go listen to this. Come on now. But speaking of go listen to this, can you talk a little bit about Dandelion Tea?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Dandelion Tea. Thank you for asking. That's my the latest single that I've put out on my indie label, Take Orally as Needed. That is there's kind of two messages to that song. There's the one is be careful what you believe fully. Like, there's certainty might water idiocracy is a line from that. Certainty, like certainty, or certainty, just the state of being certain. I think certainty is often very limiting, because it can enable us to stop questioning ourselves and lead us to maybe overlook things that we might not if we were questioning ourselves more, and like looking for the bigger picture. Because I think it can be, I've noticed myself do this many times where I'll notice something, like I'll notice some like eyebrow raise or some facial expression, and I'm like, like, what does that mean? Like, are you lying? And then like I might get it in my head that I know what this person's thinking, and I might be, because I have this one sliver of evidence, like, oh well, but the eyebrow raise is a sure, like, that's what I do when I'm lying, so I know that you're lying because you did that. Actually, I don't. I've just, at that point, deluded myself into thinking that I'm right, but I don't know what's going on in someone else's world. So that's why I do my best not to make any assumptions. I learned that from this book, The Four Agreements. That book changed my life. Like, could not recommend it enough to anyone. The Four Agreements, one of them is to don't make assumptions, don't take anything personally, which is hard. They're both hard. Yeah, but it really is, nothing is personal. Like, everything that people do is based on their own inner state and their own experiences, and most of the time it has literally nothing to do with us. And even when it does seem like it has something to do with us, it still doesn't, because it's still about their limited perspective.
Because they're having an inner battle that's coming out in an outer fashion.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. That, exactly.
Yeah.
And, so Dandelion Tea talks a bit about, it's a cautionary tale against certainty. And it also shines some light on some corporate conspiracy that has been going on in the U.S. for, I'm not sure how long, but the song makes more sense if you are familiar with the relationship between Bayer and Monsanto. The Bayer sells aspirin, which is known for helping with headaches. But also, a lot of doctors recommend it for as a preventative measure against heart disease. And so Bayer sells for explanatory purposes, simplify, like, Bayer sells heart medicine, right? Bayer owns Monsanto, who sells poison to kill dandelions and other weeds. But here's the thing. They've convinced us that dandelions are weeds, when actually they're a natural medicine that has heart protective properties. So it's like, so is Monsanto, is Roundup really, are they really helping us, or are they just poisoning the earth to weed out the competition?
Ooh,
so they
pun
can sell
intended.
more heart medicine. It's weird. And I remember learning about that on TikTok, and just being like, wait, like, learning about Monsanto opened my eyes to a lot of corporate. It just got me thinking about, like, there really are people who would poison the entire earth just to make a buck. And then I started looking around. I was like, oh, there are a lot of people doing that.
Yes, sir.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. That's the world we live in. You know, we live in a corporate world, so everything's about that dollar. So the product, it don't really matter if it's good for us. It's, do you want it?
Yeah. And like, I see. I really struggled with that, with being a part of the corporate machine. Like, it just hurt my soul, because I remember I was delivering Chinese food, and I started thinking about, like, I was thinking about like, I don't want to contribute to people killing themselves. You know, like, I don't want to be a bartender.
Yes.
I don't want to.
That's what I'm
I
talking
didn't want to deliver. I didn't want to keep delivering artificial food to people so they can keep feeding their addictions to synthetic ingredients and like just living in their own. I mean, it's like I don't want to. I don't mean to sound judgmental because it's like I understand. You know, it is what it is. Like, it's not that they're a bad person. It's just like, but and they might not even be aware of the effects that these substances are having on their bodies. But
Thanks.
just having studied them and like read articles about showing correlations between ultra processed foods and so many diseases.
So many.
I'm just like, I don't feel good about like, and I ate cookout last night.
Yeah.
But I don't do it every night, and I do my best not to like keep ultra processed foods around. Like, I have mostly nuts and seeds in the car for my trip, and yeah, like
good moderation.
I got distracted, but I stopped working at the Chinese restaurant because I was like, man, I don't feel good about like delivering. I don't want to help. I don't want to contribute to people poisoning themselves. So then I started working at a natural food store in Blacksburg.
Come on now, we made the transition because if you ever seen the movie Underworld, you don't want to be a death dealer. That's what they call the vampires. They call them death dealers. That's what I consider, like you said, people contributing to the cause of providing people with stuff that's not good for them. Like, you giving them processed food. You delivery guy, you the middleman, but you don't even see you giving them the bad product.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's good perspective on that.
Yeah, I appreciate you mentioning that. I'm not familiar with the Underworld series. I remember being a kid and seeing those big cardboard cutouts of the Underworld characters in the mall movie.
That's what they call them. Cool. That's what I consider people who, like, I don't want to say, judgmental or anything, but that's the category I put you in if you're kind of, in the world of giving people what's not good for them.
Yeah, like you own a smoke shop or like a vape store. That's the one I think of. That's like, I was watching an episode of Portlandia the other day, and it was like these two yuppie types who are like, let's start a business. Like, what's a good business to start? Like, and they're like, oh, I know, like, there's so much demand. Let's open a vape store. And it's like, yeah, there's demand, but aren't you just kind of a predator in that? Like, are you not just preying on people's addictions? Like, I don't know.
That's a good way to look at it. Now you preying on people, like I said, their addictions. Like, it's kind of the same thing as a drug dealer. You kind of preying on people's addictions in order to make $1.
Yeah, exactly. And
you ain't gonna get far doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, it's I don't want to get myself in trouble, but I used to need to supplement my I think it was when I was working at the Chinese food place, and I kind of around I think it was around the same time, because I started thinking about these things, and I was just like realizing, like, I was like, I kind of smoke too much. I know some of my friends are smoking. I really want to keep supplying them with that. And it's like, it's their choice ultimately, but I don't want to be the enabler.
You don't want to influence somebody's choice. Exactly. Yep. Come on, man. You need it. I got it.
Yeah. It feels greasy.
Yeah. It feels a little underhanded. So we do got to transition to our next one here. Can you talk a little bit about tour life? We see on tour you're visiting Kentucky. We got you in Atlanta right now. We got Virginia on the line. Shout out Virginia, Tennessee, Delaware. Like, what you looking forward to on visiting on the tour?
I'm really looking forward to Savannah. I think that's going to be really cool. I've heard some cool things about just the music scene sounds very lively, and I've got a couple open mics on the books, and I just today found out there's a beach over there, so I'm hoping to go check out the beach while I'm there. I think that'll, I don't know. I haven't been to the, see, I
Oh
can't
no, no, I
hear
was saying
you.
nice little beach. Yeah, I was a
Oh,
nice little beach. Yeah.
okay. I was like, did it cut out?
No, you good.
Yeah, I live in Norfolk, Virginia, like 30 minutes from the beach, and
Uh,
I think growing up there, I've come to take it for granted, and I don't go as much as I might like to.
mm-hmm.
Sometimes the sand just gets to me. I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with that.
It be the sand. Hey, it's always the sand. Love the water, but the sand.
I feel that.
Man. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you
Yeah,
said that because somehow you have sand in your mouth. You ain't even do nothing. Sand just everywhere.
yeah. It's like I didn't. It's like I was standing waist deep in the water. How is there sand all in my drawers?
Right. Hey, you can't tell. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. So Savannah, I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to,
Okay.
and I'm really looking forward to Owensboro, Kentucky. I'll be
Mm.
there at the end of May, and the Southeast Regional Folk Alliance Conference will
Mm.
be held there from I think it's May 28th to 31st. Like the
Mm-hmm.
last 4 days of May, and I'll be playing in a song circle, maybe a couple song circles.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll be the first real big networking event that
Okay.
I'll be going to specifically for like folk and Americana musicians, and
Yeah.
so I think that'll yeah, I think that'll be a really fulfilling experience, just getting to talk to all of these different musicians and just hear about their
Mm-hmm.
stories and what they're up to.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
good to get around like-minded people. Good to get around like-minded people. What's been your favorite part about tour so far?
So far, I think I've really enjoyed the freedom to take it at my own pace.
Mm.
Like it's just me on tour, so I don't have a band. Uh, I'm not needing to coordinate as much with other people except for when
Mm.
I'm staying with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was going Boone to Asheville, uh, in Charlotte, I had some friends, but then I didn't have any friends in Greenville.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any friends in Boone or Asheville either
Mm.
until, except for the ones I made there. But I
Oh, now.
enjoyed, I just really enjoyed being able to just move at my own pace and
Mm-hmm.
just take it slow, just not rush myself, just be like I've been. If anyone wants to check out my tour vlogs, you got to join my mailing list to get access to those because
Mm-hmm.
I get pretty awkward in those. So I'm trying to keep my or build a more professional online presence.
Yep. Yes, sir.
So I'm prioritizing performance footage on my YouTube publicly, but to everyone on my mailing list, I've been sending out
Mm-hmm.
tour. It's been a test of my organizational skills to record all these clips and upload them to Dropbox and like
Mm-hmm.
label them. That's organizational skills are very new to me, but
Hey.
they've been critical for being able to go on this tour. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I've put in the time to kind of like build and refine different systems.
Yeah.
It's yeah, and it really takes a lot of lot of patience for me to just be willing to go slow enough to do things the way that works for me. And I think a lot of my disorganization in the past has been connected to impatience, because I would maybe for my bedroom is a mess. I bet it's still a mess. I didn't clean it before I left, and it was just getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
Not worse, but it was getting messier and messier before I left. And I think because it's just me not being patient enough to put things where they belong. So I find when I'm practicing patience, I feel more organized.
I'm glad you said that, because you got to practice your patience. And the tour life has taught you again organization, how you organize yourself, and also your work and life as well, because that goes hand in hand when you're on tour.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. So this is going to get us to our last question here. It's the people's favorite. They love this question. I got to make sure I ask it.
Okay.
All right. So our fan favorite question is: what is the message and what in the work that you do?
The message that I do, or the